So here's the thing. Right now in Australia, there is, in terms of the bigger clubs, the chains and the big box clubs, about a little over 1,800 gyms. Over 1,000 of those are dedicated 24/7 clubs. They were built and designed to be 24/7. That's a little less than 60%. The turnaround, where the majority of clubs now in Australia are dedicated 24/7, there's lots and lots of other businesses out there, thousands of them, that are the complete opposite. The boutique small group studios, the outdoor personal training sessions that take place both at an individual and at a small group level. There's still lots of those out there. I'm not saying that that era is over. What I am saying is that when the majority of clubs in Australia, the significant majority, do not provide a full service but are just 24/7 facilities, we've been through seismic change in the industry, and that's the bit that I find really interesting. So here we are at the amazing Recreation Health Club owned by Joanne Russell, and we come down to give her a very special award, which is actually a position on the Fitness Australia Roll of Honour. I personally know Jo. I'm very excited to give this to her. She's a terrific lady, and as it happens, she's got a 24-hour business, which is exactly the topic that we've been talking about over the last couple of days. So how many square metres have you got here in total?
2,000 square metres.
2,000. You've made the massive transition from full service big box to 24/7. So what's the next stage after that? What's going to be the next for 24/7 clubs? How are they going to respond to, as you say?
Yeah, well, you know, some of the 24/7 clubs are responding to big box clubs by going, oh, well, gee, we maybe need some group fitness, or we maybe need to do a functional fitness class a few times a week if we had the space, because they're trying to say, well, what don't we have that they've got? And so I think they're probably thinking, how can we get a bit of their cake? And we're probably thinking, well, how can we get their cake? But the thing is, it's easy for us just to put the cameras in because we've got everything going. It's not so easy to make an exercise an extra room if you don't have the space. And the reason that they work is because they're a formula, and the formula is this size, and this rent, and this overhead, and this number of people, and it works. So if you break that, are you then in no man's land, or have you found a new place? And that's the risk of business, isn't it? To go out and say, you know, I'm experimenting with a 700 to 800 box, where I've got a little bit of group, but I've got 24-hour club, and downstairs is all the 24-hour club, and upstairs is a group, and you can buy one or the other. So that's what I'm building at the moment, experimenting with that little in-between thing. You don't necessarily have to come to the gym to sort of bust it out. You can come to the gym just to be healthy in a different way. So I like the idea of salt rooms. So I thought, well, I'll build one. So this is what happens. So here it is. Here's a salt therapy room.
The salt. Are you for real?
Yeah. So we've worked out how to do it, created all of this.
Okay.
So the salt comes through that little hole, is from a generator. So it grinds therapeutic salt into an aerosol that's fine enough to go through the alveoli into the lungs. Salt is antimicrobic, it's antibacterial, antifungal, and so it kills anything that's in the lungs. So it's also a decongestant, so it opens up the lungs. So it's used for people that are wanting to get healed from bronchitis or respiratory tract issues, or that just want to have an open airway. So salt is the most negative ion mineral on the planet. So it turns it into a negative ion state. So even though I'm very hyper at the moment, you probably already noticed that you feel this
I'm starting
heaviness.
to feel very calm, and that's
Correct.
a little bit strange for me than it is for you.
Yeah, you'll feel it about from now on. It calms the nervous system. So you start to feel this heaviness and a blanket of peace on you, and you just People think they're going to read, they don't. They just go into this twilight zone.
So I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with this. Where do we go with it? What do we do as an industry? And how do we approach the problems that 24/7 unmanned clubs bring to the industry as a whole? So I'm here chatting today with Amelia Martin, who has got Tonic Squash and Fitness down here in sunny Dramana, I've got to tell you, along with beaches and vineyards and such like, so I'm well informed about this very topic. I find it really fascinating. Thanks so much,
Sure.
Amelia, for joining me on this.
No problem.
So if you're going to turn your club into a 24/7 club, legitimately you'll be asking questions about the safety of your participants. You'll also be asking questions about security of your building, as well as the fact there's cost involved, and cost, no doubt, with regard to insurance, but also practical cost within the club itself.
Sure.
But from your perspective, tell me what your view is on it.
Oh, at Tonic Squash and Gym, we're an amazing family fitness community, and we haven't gone 24/7 just because we'd like to keep it that way, and we like to be staffed and give our members one-on-one contact all the time with.
So you think that would dilute one of the core values of
I think
of
down
your
here,
club?
especially, we've got kids classes, we've got group fitness, we've got upstairs in the weights, we have schools come in, and we just love having that one-on-one with staff. And taking that away by having 24/7, I think it would just get a bit more dull.
Yeah.
And people will stick their headphones in and people won't be talking to each other. But down here we have a cafe, we usually do the group fitness classes, and then everyone will go and have a coffee all together with staff, and we just love that vibe.
And how important do you think the community piece is in the success of your business?
Well, I think down here we do things all together as a community. Whether it's not just at the gym, we have lovely wineries that everyone goes to as a community, with football clubs we do as a community. We try and sponsor all those events. I just love the vibe we have here, family friendly, and I think putting that 24/7 in, are you really going to go to the gym at 1 a.m? I'm not sure.
So today we're going to get across to the International Convention Centre here in Sydney, and we're going to meet with the Filex Holding team, and we're also going to meet with the manager of Filex within Fitness Australia. So we're going to have a chat about how we're going to run over those 3 days, the current level of preparation and what else that we need to do. And there will be a couple of issues around that really need to be discussed and sorted out so that we can move forward. We may also take a look through the space and get a bit of a feel of it at a practical level. So it should be a good afternoon. Filex is the biggest education event, fitness education event of its kind in the Southern Hemisphere. So when it comes to everybody physically coming together, this is the premium place to be. This is the place that you want to be. It's the coming together that's a great part of this, because it's not just about the education. Whilst the education component is fantastic, it's great speakers, it's going to be 3 terrific days. The coming together piece is a really important piece as well, because everyone gets to see each other. People that you haven't seen for a year or maybe a few years, but everyone manages to get along, all say good day. It's a tremendous social event as well as being a tremendous education event. And that for me is the piece that brings the whole thing together. The whole fitness industry of the family come together. So that was a bit of a sneak peek. You've had a look at the rooms, at some of the auditorium and the general energy of the place, and the convention centre as a whole. It's a magnificent building, so don't miss out. The Business Summit is on Thursday the 19th of April, and then the education components is on the Friday the 20th to the 22nd. So today we are going live on Facebook for a panel discussion hosted by Cody McAuliffe from PT/Coaches Forum, Dan Henderson, Chantel Broderick, Alex Davis and myself to talk about all things fitness. What are the trends? What does the future look like in our industry? Collaboration up is a really critical piece as well. We don't really get our feet under the table on the public health agenda because we are, if you like, quite insular. We're viewed, if you like, to be a little specialist, a little out there, a little whatever that might be. It's only when we start bleeding at the edges where we start to getting active collaborative pathways with allied health, with medical practitioners, that we're really going to establish ourselves as being a credible player in the health and fitness of the country. At the moment, the amount of work that we do, we've got 16% of Australians that go to our health clubs. So we just can't reach that other 85%.
Yep.
It's a struggle for us to do that. That's the way that we would do that, where there's sufficient trust between other health professionals, sufficient trust between a meditation studio, if you like, along with a virtual, along with a strength studio. There's sufficient trust between everybody that you can go to these places, you're going to get a quality product delivered by quality professionals, and suddenly this whole thing will open up. So, I hope you enjoyed episode 2 of On the Road with Bill Moore. Really keen to get your comments about your thoughts on the 24/7 phenomenon. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? And indeed, anything else that you saw on the show. Look forward to seeing you next time. Teach you the moment now. Give me the wall.